here at Conservatory of the Ozarks, and I'm here today with Miranda, who does not want to be on camera. And I'm going to show Miranda the candle blow exercise, a breathing exercise for singing. So, we want to practice first the shape we'll make with our mouths to inhale, which is opening like this. Keeping the tip of your tongue pressed against the roots of your lower teeth. So your jaw drops and your tongue just goes down for the ride. And we have 3 fingertips between the teeth, like an aw vowel shape. And so we open the front part like that, and then we open in the back like we're yawning, lifting the soft palate and letting the base of the tongue sink down. So you're stretching up on top and down on bottom. Do you feel that stretched in the back of your throat, feeling like you would feel if you're yawning? So now, I'm not telling you to breathe right now, but try to make that shape, the open all the way back, and see if you can stop yourself from inhaling while you do it. Because like, I can't really. It's pretty hard, right? Because we're surrounded by air pressure. Like, it's weird to think of, right? But air has weight. And so, like, you could, it's easier to think of water, because if you take a cup that's empty and you shove the cup under water, the water pressure will cause the water to rush into the cup and fill the cup. But it's the same with air. We just can't see what's happening. But so you can just make the space in your vessel, your singing vessel, and the air will rush in. So let's try that again. Just make the shape and notice how the air will just fill up all the space you make. Pretty easy, right? So that's the first step to taking a breath when we're singing, and this is how we would want to begin every time we phonate, which means make sound, right? So the next step is to open the back of your throat and to let your abdominal wall release. So you feel like a pipe coming all the way down to your tummy is sort of how it will feel. Not actually what's happening, but you don't actually breathe into your tummy. But anyway, so we'll make the shape and we'll allow the throat to open, and we'll allow the abdominal wall to expand. And so if you're standing sideways, which is really the useful thing to see, your tummy would pop out like this, and then you can squeeze the muscles here gently to contract the muscles to exhale in this case, because it's just a breathing exercise, not a singing exercise. But this is the same movement we'll make when we're singing, and we are squeezing the air gently to support phonation. So another thing that we can release when we're inhaling is the pelvic floor. And so the feeling of releasing your pelvic floor is like the feeling of, oh, I'm going to pee now, right? It's kind of a weird sensation to look for. But so you can allow your abdomen to expand as you breathe in after you open your throat, and then you can allow your pelvic floor to expand at the same time. So you have this like outward movement like this. So just think of that as we begin by opening the mouth, letting the tongue relax, opening in the back where the soft palate lifts when we're yawning, and then letting down here the abdomen and the pelvic floor release. And let's just try that much again. So this is just half of breathing, just the inhale, right? Open, make lots of space. Right, and so then the next step will be the contraction to exhale into the candle blow exercise that we're trying to learn. So you can also feel, I'm going to take this off because it's a little, kind of need to see a little bit more. So you also can put your hands on your lower rib cage like this, and you can feel your lower ribs open like an umbrella as you allow the air to open, open, open all the way down. So try to see if you can feel the release in your abdomen, your pelvic floor, and your ribs. And then we can contract the pelvic floor and the abdomen, and the lower ribs will soften as we exhale. And one other place you'll feel, which this is the most subtle place, is here in your lower back. And so, like, where my hands are, like, where you would see someone, if, like, someone's pregnant, they're like, ooh, my back hurts, like, that, if you, like I say, it's kind of pretty subtle, but if you kind of press your hands pretty firmly there and inhale, do you feel a little expansion under your palms of your hand? Yeah. So everywhere a belt would touch, if you were wearing a belt, we want to feel an expansion as we're inhaling. But the chest and the shoulders don't really need to move. So like if you had one hand on your chest and one hand on your tummy, you could hopefully not feel movement here. Not that you're like trying to hold your chest or your shoulders still. It's just like they don't need to move, so they just stay still. But the tummy does have to move. And sideways it would be like this. And so the exhale is like pretty forceful, like you're trying to blow out your birthday cake candles. The inhale is like, oh, you walked into a surprise party and all the people you love most are there and you're so happy and you're like, so the surprise party breath, inhale, and the candle blow exhale. And then the next step on top of this breathing exercise, which we'll do when we turn off the camera, is go into a siren. So same inhale, and you're trying to keep the expansion in the back of your throat for the whole exhale, right? Like we're setting the stage for the phonation with the inhalation. So we're like keeping everything up. We're not like collapsing while we exhale. And that's what we want to do when we begin the siren as well. So we'll go ooh. So, yeah, a great way to like do your practice session is to do this breathing exercise slowly and carefully, and then do the siren, and then do one of your vocal exercises. Pause, do the next siren, like do maybe a couple candle blows if you need to remember the sensations, and then do the next exercise. So like stop and do a siren and a candle blow like between each one to remind yourself like, oh yeah, this is what an open throat felt like, and I can like really just think about that and nothing else because I'm just breathing right now. Do you have any questions about any of that?
So I'm sure this like gets really complicated with whenever you're pronouncing like different consonants and vowels, whenever your mouth changes from that like position, does breathing work the same way?
Does breathing work the same way as